YouTube, hey there, it's Casey Dim at TaxSaleAcademy.com. Thank you so much for joining us on our weekly question segment. This week's question comes to us from, I guess it's screen name Rocket. All right, here's our question. I know you say to make sure a property isn't going to be demolished. How exactly do I do that? So great question. Actually, I write about a story in Tax Sale Playbook where I bought a house at a tax sale auction. I left the auction, took a whole bunch of photos, super excited. And then I came back 2 weeks later and the house had been demolished. I remember turning the corner looking for the house and it wasn't there, right? There was nothing on the lot except for this huge bulldozer with the city's emblem on the side of it. My heart sank. I was so disappointed they tore down my house, but I was also a little bit nervous that I was going to get stuck with the demolition bill for that project to add to my already sour investment. But anyhow, ever since that point, I make it a habit to check both the condemnation list and the demolition list. Usually a property with any sort of issues in a city or county where it's monitored by that city or county will start out with a simple code enforcement type notice. Could be a fine, a posting, something like that. Then eventually it will go on to the condemnation list if the issues get that severe. And then at some point, if they aren't corrected and it begins to fall into further disrepair, it could get added to a demolition list depending on the city or the county that you are investing in. Once it goes on that list, it's bid out to all the contractors and eventually they knock it down. The responsible party might just be you if you buy a piece of property, it has a building on it that gets knocked down after your purchase. Now, in most cities, you can get your hands on a demolition list rather easily. Oftentimes, they'll be available online, although you might have to call the city in some situations. My suggestion is to contact the code enforcement office in the city and the county where the property is located to see who has jurisdiction for the demolition of properties in that area. Sometimes they will tell you that they don't maintain an active list, but in other areas where demolitions are much more commonplace, they'll be able to provide you a copy of that list, or at the very least, they'll be able to tell you where to get one. So call code enforcement and ask, or if your area does not have a dedicated code enforcement office, you can always start out by calling the building department and asking them who you should call in your area. But by all means, be sure to get a copy of that demolition list so you don't end up in the same situation that I talk about in Tax Sale Playbook. Hopefully this answered your question, Rocket. If you have a follow-up question or anybody else watching this video has a question, feel free to leave it below this video or any of our videos here on YouTube. And as always, for more information on tax sale investing, check out TaxSaleAcademy.com. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.